Hello, ladies and gentlemen! This is the Mystery Writer speaking, and welcome to the show! Yay! Alright, so today we are doing something very special. We are doing a Battlebots Top 10. But I do have a special guest in this video, aka my dad. Managed to convince him to do this, despite the fact he wasn't really into doing it. But we managed somehow, and yeah, I think the video came out rather well. So without further ado, on with the top 10. I am going to be showing my father, who is an engineer. Now tell the nice folks what you do for a living.
Can't do that. It's confidential.
Confidential. Ooh, fascinating. In honor for the premiere, we're going to be doing a top 10. A top 10 list for the new robots that we're most excited for coming into the 2019 season. Starting off our list today is none other than Battlesaw. Now, this is a robot that I feel has been criminally underrated within the robot combat community because not a lot about it on social media like Facebook or YouTube. But personally, I find it to be a very fascinating robot because, one, it is the only track-driven robot competing this year. And two, it is a ring spinner. If you don't know what a ring spinner means, is that the outer rim of the robot actually spins while the center part stays completely still. Now, I will admit that the tracks don't particularly look that well constructed.
Can't really tell.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
Yeah. But I like the overall design.
Looks like a cool bottle cap.
It kind of does, doesn't it? Looks like a razor sharp one at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But overall, I'm excited to see if Battlesaw gets any televised fights. Next one over is actually one that people have been talking about, but I feel that it needs to be talked about more. It's Shellshock.
Very strange.
Well, that's because it's based off a turtle.
Okay. Green like a turtle.
Yeah. But anyways, this is actually from my high school team.
Very good.
Yes. A collection of students that attend 3 different schools in Southern California. I actually found on YouTube their application video for Battlebots, which I will provide a link to in the description below. Some very interesting aspects about Shellshock. One, it is actually one of the smallest robots competing this year. As you can see in this photo right here, it's very small. However, that's not because it's lightweight, but rather extremely compact. According to the application video, actually has some very interesting aspects about it engineering-wise. For example, this robot right here actually has a homemade prototype electromagnet attached to the bottom, as well as 3 sets of wheels that are actually connected to a specialized suspension system that actually controls the height of the robot. Can lift itself enough in order to get enough purchase to slide across the floor. Yeah, so I think Shellshock is going to be a bit of a dark horse in the competition, but I could be wrong.
You could be right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, this next robot people have been talking about because their story has been so interesting. It's Rainbow. This is the only Russian robot competing this year. This is the robot that almost got sued by Hasbro because the original paint job of this robot, when it was going around Europe, the original paint job depicted the cast of the popular children's show, My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. Hasbro found out about this, filed a cease and desist order, threatening to sue this team from Russia, and so they changed it to the paint job we see now. Now, I also found their YouTube channel, which I will give another link down in the description below, where they have done a lot of vlogging and behind the scenes stuff while they were there at Battlebots. And apparently they've been having a lot of technical issues while they've been there. So, what do you think of the Russians this year?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Might make it.
They might. You think they might do well?
Loosen that build up.
Listen to bell up. It is Kronos.
Gear driven.
I think it's just decoration mostly.
Or is it actually?
I think it's, well, actually, it could be. Yeah, there's open spikes. Huh. Oh, look at that. It's gear driven. This is another ring spinner robot. I like these little wedges along the side here.
Mm-hmm.
Although, it is two-wheel driven, so that might cause some steering issues. All right, this next one is Cobalt.
I like that blade. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, technically, this is Cobalt 2, because Cobalt 1 actually competed in the 2016 Battlebots, and where it fought in 2 battles before losing to the eventual runner-up Bombshell. And this is actually from a team with some very good pedigree, because their other robot, Carbide, actually won a series of Robot Wars, instead of the bar spinner, which has been comparable to the likes of Tombstone. They're going with a vertical spinner, and a very unique looking vertical spinner at that, and where it actually has teeth that looks like a sort of an actual saw. All right, on to our next pick. It is Mammoth. This is one that people have been talking about online, and for good reason. As the name suggests, it is so freaking huge. In its first competition, it actually did very well. It competed in a competition earlier this year where it placed in the top 4. Now, it is obviously the biggest robot competing this year, which adds to the spectacle of the whole thing. And this time around, they even added a flamethrower to the spinning arm. So in other words, it can literally create a ring of fire. Next up, at number 3, we have Copperhead. Now, this is a robot that I have been following on social media, on both Facebook and on YouTube. Mostly thanks to this guy right here, with the beard and glasses. His name is Robert Cohen, I believe. He's been posting a lot of videos, drive testing, weapon testing, painting the robot, step-by-step sort of stuff.
Very well.
Yeah.
Good.
And Copperhead is a egg beater spinner. Rather beefy one. I like the design of the robot. The robot's weapon in particular, because unlike other egg beater spinners, and where they had that big open section in the middle, this is more closed off and has a lot more beef and mass to the what?
Very compact.
It's very compact and it has a lot more mass to it.
Good.
Yes. Now, this team is rather unique because it's sort of breaking the rules of this list, because technically this team has competed before, but this is a new robot of theirs. In 2016, they competed with a robot named Poison Arrow. Now, Poison Arrow, themed after a Poison Arrow frog, obviously, also had one of the best drones in the competition that year. And it was also one of the deadliest spinning robots in the competition, eventually making it to, I believe, either the top 16 or top 8 in the competition. In one battle, it beat Son of Waiachi by sending it several feet into the air. It literally killed the robot in one hit. So in other words, can we see the same kind of results with Copperhead? We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so what do you think of Copperhead?
I think it's a winner.
You think it's a winner? All right. Now then, next up, all the way from Great Britain, we have Shatter. Now, you remember the robot I mentioned that beat Mammoth by hammering the back of it?
Yeah.
That is the predecessor of Shatter right here. This robot has been making waves in the combat robot world for well over a year now. Or at least its predecessor, Blue. Don't ask me why it has a pink paint job when it's named Blue. I really don't get it. But this robot has done very well. This particular robot, Blue, competed in the Chinese version of Battlebots called King of Bots. Yes, there's a Chinese Battlebots. And it did very well. I believe it made it to like the top 8, top 16, top 8, something like that. And it has done extremely well. Why? Well, because it's extremely well driven, as well as its secret weapon, the Omni Wheel. Omni Wheels are specially designed wheels that allow the robot to move in any direction, including sideways.
Interesting.
It is. Hey, maybe you should tell your NASA buddies they can use these in order So yeah, we should expect a lot of good things from Shatter, because I've seen a few fights of his, and the way that he just moves around the opponent is really good. Plus, hammer robots in particular can only strike their opponents when they're right in front of them.
That's right.
So imagine a robot with a hammer, a really powerful hammer at that can move alongside you and then strike you from the side without you even noticing. So yeah, we should expect some good things from Shatter.
Yes.
Plus, I had to admit, at first I didn't really like the design of the armor, but the more I look at it, the more I like it.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. And finally, our number one choice, Quantum.
You got some teeth on that bugger.
Those are actually titanium teeth
that
are bolted in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Quantum is a hydraulic crusher / grabber robot that also stems from Great Britain. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. It is such a good... What?
Good choice.
Yeah. It is such a cool robot, too, because, again, its predecessor also competed in King of Bots. And not only competed in King of Bots, it won King of Bots. So we're dealing with a champion here. We are dealing with the winning team from King of Bots.
Very good.
Now, what this predecessor of Quantum's, it's known as Spectre. Spectre was known for grabbing onto its opponents and pretty much carrying them all over the arena into the several hazards, especially the flames and the spinning bits and hammers and all that. And in its winning fight against a Chinese robot. By the way, don't worry. America made it to the podium. Yay. We made it in third.
Third. Very good.
Yeah. It beat the Chinese robot by piercing not only through the armor, but also through the battery, causing a massive fire.
Oh, no.
Smoke filled the whole arena. So in other words, it was a decisive victory. According to the new teaser trailer that came out last week for the new season of BattleBots, which I will put a link in the description below, it pretty much slammed a robot into the side of the arena. So it can carry other robots around like ragdolls.
Very good.
Yes. So that has been our top 10 list for, well, obviously the top 10 robots that we're most excited for. All right, and tune in next time for when we talk about the top 10 robots returning to BattleBots this season. Until then, this has been the Mystery Rider with my special guest here, the Mystery Dad. Until then, sayonara.